1st, 2025, to order. Please join me in a silent prayer and meditation. Great, thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Christensen.
Here.
Trustee Curtis.
Here.
Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
All right, thank you. The next on the agenda, we're moving that to May 5th, Award Officer Mason Brant. Moving down to another recognition, one of our own up here, Jessie Watkins to my left, our village clerk. She's been on the village board since 2021, member of North Aurora Days Committee for many years. She had a major role in that with children's activities and programming initiatives. She was one of the founders of NORDA. Community events she was involved in was Evergreen Holiday, Rhythm on the Riverfront, kayak partnerships, and activities at the North Aurora Riverfront. So we have a award here, and I want to thank you for your service. She really doesn't want any recognition, but anyway, we appreciate all you've done, and we'll miss you. So thanks for a great job. Say a few words.
Sure. You guys never let me speak, so I'll take the opportunity. But I'll make it brief because I'm still responsible for these minutes, and I don't want to give myself extra work. I just want to say that I'm truly grateful and honored to have served my community alongside all of you. And I'm very comfortable and confident moving on, knowing that the very capable and talented Holly O'Brien has been elected into this position. Thank you all very much for your support and welcoming me here.
All right, thank you. All right, I got a proclamation to read for Arbor Day. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed in the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was observed first with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the whole world. And whereas trees reduce erosion of precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, countless other wood products. Whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of the business area, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed, I, Mark Gaffino, village president of the Village of North Aurora, do proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the Village of North Aurora, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the hearts and promote the well-being of this and future generations on this 25th day of April, 2025. So, thank you. All right, now I'd like to open the public hearing regarding our budget for 2025 and 2026. Anybody here like to speak regarding that? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing for 2025 and 2026 budget and move on to audience comments. Anybody here for that? Okay, motion for consent.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately.
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, Jason.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 1 is an ordinance approving a 1% local grocery tax. As we discussed in our past budget presentations, the state has eliminated the 1% sales tax on groceries effective January 1st, 2026. But local municipalities have the option to put on a local tax that would be effective for January 1st going forward. So this is not a new tax. It's basically a continuation of what we currently have on the books. It's just the state would basically collect both and remit it back to us. We estimate that the village receives between $600,000 and $750,000 annually from sales tax on groceries. So it's fairly significant revenue to the village. The 25-26 proposed budget was put together assuming the continuation of this tax. So if this weren't passed, we'd have to come back with, next week or in the next meeting with some changes reducing revenue and some expenses within the budget.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a question. So the current sales tax that just passed by referendum, that does not apply to grocery sales, correct?
That's correct. So the grocery tax is on edible food for the most part, and the sales tax, the general 8%, is on general merchandise. So if you were to go to a grocery store and buy shampoo, it's taxed at 8%. If you buy a loaf of bread, it's the 1.75, and we get 1% of that.
And then if we did not incorporate the continuation of this 1%, the effect to the budget would be, I think it was 600,000.
Yeah, so going forward on an annual basis, anywhere from 600 to 750. Just looking at next year, to where some of it's going to be on the books and some it's not. Probably in the 250 to 300 range for next budget year, but then the following year after that is where we would see the full effect of it.
And thinking back to what we did with the property tax, I think we took the 2.5, or we took a little bit more than we probably should have. If we eliminated this 1% tax, I mean, would it affect operations? Would it have a detrimental effect on the budget?
So for the current year, we have budgeted the $400,000 transfer to the capital projects fund. Most likely that would go away or be significantly reduced. But then looking forward to future budgets to where we're looking to be $600,000 to $750,000, we'd have to go back and look at some of the new things in the budget, whether it's positions or operations, and say, what can we get rid of now, knowing that we probably can't afford it going into the following year?
So do we know if our surrounding communities are going to enact it? Because we don't want to make ourselves uncompetitive.
So just this month, both Montgomery and South Elgin have approved it. Elburn did in January, and I know a lot of people were waiting for the elections to be over to start proposing it. I think there was something in the newspaper today about Oswego maybe tomorrow night at one of their meetings. Their committee of the whole meeting is going to start discussing it. So it's starting now this month and next month. I think the deadline is October to get something filed for the Department of Revenue to collect in January. So it's kind of starting up right now. A lot of people are starting to bring it up or approving it.
And we have the option to repeal it should the state
Yep.
reinstate.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Call the question, please.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis,
Yes.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 2, Jason.
Thank you. So item 2 is an ordinance increasing water rates effective January 1st, 2025. In early 2023, staff presented a 5-year plan which showed us increasing rates from $3.70 then to $5.95 going into fiscal year 27-28. As we're now entering year 3 of that plan and we're going through our budgeting, just looking at the capital projects coming up, primarily the water tower, treatment plant upgrades, and then a lot of our utility and supply costs that we've been seeing. We really need to accelerate those water rates to that final year, that $5.95. We've taken a lot of steps in the past to try to keep rates down, whether it be our Recovery Fund Act money that we got from the federal government, the $2.4 million, using that on water capital. And then in this current year, we're planning on pushing over $1.6 million from the general fund to the water fund to help build up that reserve. It's not enough revenue going forward on the water side to really keep up with our capital projects. So staff is proposing adopting a rate of $5.95 effective January 1st, 2025. This would represent $1.16 or 24% rate increase. The average bi-monthly bill would go from $54.32 to $63.60, so $9.28 cent increase every other month. This is assuming an $11,000 gallon bill. We are not changing the $16 minimum charge for the first 3,000 gallons used. That stays the same. Without this increase, we'd probably have to look at some of the new things in the budget, like we were proposing adding a water laborer. We'd probably have to pull that out and significantly reduce capital going forward to where we really have enough for operations and maybe just a little bit of capital projects going forward. If we weren't to raise rates and just kind of keep on the same path here and keep whatever our current capital projects that we're planning on, we'd probably run out of a water fund reserve balance in the next 2.5 years. To basically, we'd have no money left in the water fund. So we're really looking for ways to be able to, keep up with our capital and our operations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
No.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Move on to item 3, Dave.
You know what? I'm actually going to try to do it, and if I fail miserably, Dave's going to come up and help. Item in front of you tonight is a server replacement, and it is a purchase of $29,565. So we are starting to switch over. Dave is doing an amazing job of taking some of our internal environment and looking for ways to not only make it more modern, but also make it more secure. Right now, what we're looking to do is transition from virtual servers to one physical server that hosts multiple virtual servers. And we're also looking to buy a second, less powerful server to do some test environments. So that would be for security reasons, the ability to, test different things and make sure that our security system is sound. And then also, if there was an issue with disaster recovery, we can go back and we can try to have everything backed up on that second server. The project is for $29,565, but there's also a software component of this, and which I have authorized internally if this gets approved. That total for the project will be $47,830. We have $60,000 in the budget. And most importantly, Dave did a really nice job of working with one of our consultants to come up with this plan. We're able to do this by the end of the fiscal year and reduce, I believe, $40,000 out of next year's budget and pull it out.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 4, Steve.
Thank you. Item number four is regarding our Metronet franchise agreement. The board may remember in the fall, Metronet, which is one of the companies that provides internet, phone, and television streaming services through the village here. They used to do cable, but then we had a 10-year agreement with them starting back in 2017. It was due to expire in March of 27. They basically noticed all the municipalities in the Fox Valley area that they were servicing that they are no longer providing cable because streaming services had become so beneficial and to some people, and the model that they were offering for cable, they just weren't seeing the return on investment anymore. So one of the ways that they were going to each community to offset the settlement of their agreement was to just try to estimate the amount of fees that they had been paying to each community and then write them one lump sum check for the rest of their agreement to have a settlement and walk away from it. To put it in perspective, to show you that there wasn't a ton of revenue coming in from this, back in the fall, they were estimating that over the final 3 years, 2.5 years or so, it was only going to generate about $7,800 in franchise fees to the village. So a lot of the communities took that, and we went back to Metronet. We've had a good working relationship with Metronet. We use Metronet here at all of our village facilities for our broadband services for internet and phone. And in doing so, our staff actually went back and forth with Metronet to see if we can negotiate some additional services as part of the settlement agreement. And I'm happy to report that after multiple exchanges back and forth, they have agreed to give us upgrades valued at about $620 per month over the next 5 years, which equates to about $37,000 worth of upgrades to the internet that we receive at our village facilities. Basically, that's expansion broadband, higher speeds, things like that. We went through Dave to make sure that that was needed and that that was a really good value. So Dave said it was good.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
All right, thank you. Item 5, Steve.
Thank you. Item number 5 is regarding a new liquor license. The village board had looked at this. This is for the BP gas station at 101 South Lincoln Way. We had looked at it at a community hall recently. This, as you recall, they also are looking to tear down their car wash. The last owner of the gas station had a liquor license. It was revoked due to code violations. The new owner is looking to get rid of those code violations, get rid of the car wash that was in violation, and get a new liquor license and reopen. So right now, we have in front of us, we've had a TIF request. So they've actually submitted some quotes in for the removal of that car wash, and therefore we're moving forward with their request for a liquor license. Should the board grant the additional Class G license tonight, the mayor does not have to issue it right away. What we're looking to do is propose that the liquor commissioner offer a conditional license upon receiving their actual demo permit. Just in case they decide not to demo it, then we would be back to revoking the license again potentially. So with the creation of the additional license today, then the mayor can choose to issue it now, or he can issue it conditionally later.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? That was my thought. I'd hold it until the thing actually comes down. The permit's just a permit. So, call the roll, please.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 6, Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. This item is for the award of the contract for the backwash tank cleaning project. The village has backwash tanks at each of our 2 water treatment plants. These tanks collect sludge, which is a byproduct of the water filtering process. This was last done in 2018. The village signed a PSA with EEI to seek proposals from contractors who are qualified to remove the hazardous waste. 2 proposals were received and reviewed by EEI. We currently have $100,000 budgeted for this project. EEI is recommending awarding the contract to Republic Services in the amount of $93,983.50.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 7, Brian.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is for waiving the bidding process for a water valve installation project. The Water Division recently inspected and operated valves along the Route 31 corridor and found several valves were broken, partially closed position, and others were inoperable. With valves in these conditions, it adversely affects water flow and could hinder firefighting operations in this area if needed. Staff would like to expedite the replacement process for these reasons, along with the IDOT resurfacing program that is scheduled for this summer in that area. The village is requiring the use of insertion valves for this project, and there are limited self-performing contractors in the area that perform this work. Staff reached out to 2 companies requesting proposals. Superior Excavating provided the village with the lowest proposal and has successfully completed other projects for us. This work is budgeted for in the current fiscal year and will be done by June 1st. Village staff recommends waiving the bidding process due to the expeditious work and unique work, and awarding the contract to Superior Excavating in the amount of $244,266.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That concludes, excuse me, new business, village president report. I have nothing. Trustee comments? Administrator report?
No report tonight, thank you.
Department heads?
Yeah.
Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple things I'd like to bring to the board's attention. I know you don't see the day-to-day operations typically, but, and Steve's going to roll his eyes, in my 28 years with the village, I don't think we've ever had as good of communication and cooperation between all the departments. Last Monday was kind of hectic. We had a call of a home invasion, possibly with a person armed with a machete. I was able to respond with the officers, set a perimeter around Schneider School, lock it down. We located the subject hiding in the area. It turned out to be more of a landlord-tenant dispute. But it made my life easier to be able to call Steve, who communicated with Natalie, to put real-time notices to the public that officers were on the scene when it was secure, so I could command the scene and not have to worry about trying to do something for my squad car and having any delays. And then, as you are aware, we had a male jump from the State Street Bridge into the river. Brian and his crew were working in the area, and they were one of the people who called 911 so we could be notified quickly and respond. Mike Quinn was able to get into the river, retrieve the individual, and get him to the ambulance to safety. But I want to give credit to Steve and Brian and his crew for not just worrying about their own jobs, but just having their eyes open and cooperation and communication, like I said.
Well, it's a two-way street because I think staff feels the same way with the police department that, you know, they can talk to you guys and work together for good outcomes. So,
It's just a positive environment.
Yeah.
to-
all right, thank you. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We'll be starting the committee of the whole meeting shortly.